Hello and welcome to the WhoTubia podcast. My name's John Granston and I'm here with
Christopher Thompson.
And Britty Lea, the American today.
the first American on our
First
podcast.
American.
Yeah.
I get that title. Yay.
And second woman as well.
Oh, that's special.
And we're here to talk about night terrors, which was terrifying at night.
Yeah, very good. For once, Mark Gatiss has not let me down. What I liked about Night Terrors was it was very psychological and very much Twilight Zone.
And not Twilight.
And not Twilight. Oh, God.
No. Twilight has its own different meaning. Twilight Zone, however, means chilling to the bone.
And very good.
And very good in its own way.
Although Billy Tracy would disagree.
Twilight Zone have a load of impossible things happening that will creep you out, and this episode was nothing short of that.
Well, it was
I agree.
Good. It was.
So,
I liked it because it wasn't like specifically like, oh, hey, we're gonna make this whole episode about the story arc. That doesn't really make sense. It was just
the story arc makes sense. The fact that the story arc dominates an episode is what I don't like.
Yeah.
I would like to watch an episode of. I would like to watch. Yeah, unless it's a finale. Even then, if you watch other things like Ashes to Ashes or something, you have all this like story arc going through the background of each individual story. And then right in the finale, it will still be its own separate story. And then at the end, you'll get your answer to the story arc. Well, I enjoyed Night Terrors. That's in short.
Yeah, in short.
Yes. Mark Gatiss did not let me down. He's managed to do so about 3 times before, and I really wondered how he was going to do it this time.
The thing for me is I don't like scary things. Like, I'm not a big that kind of person. I don't watch those kind of movies and stuff, but I liked it, which was saying something.
I don't like horror films. I like psychological horror films, like What Lies Beneath, which is chilling throughout, and it actually freaked me out watching it. And things like, I could probably watch Paranormal Activity if I wanted to.
I might be watching that tonight, actually, just as a side note to this.
I'm tempted to watch it. Whether I will, I don't know. But I prefer those sort of things where it plays with your mind rather than like the old Wes Craven films, of which all it is some villain running around killing people, or Freddy Krueger haunted nightmares. It's just gory bits after gory bits, and I don't mind gore, but the fact that all the story is just running from a psychopath does not really make it an interesting story. When it's a psychological thing, like a haunted house, or anything like that, or the unknown happening around you, that is brilliant.
I agree.
I agree.
It went quiet, and so someone needed to
Yeah.
say something. But yeah, it is a damn thumping good episode, and that's always a good thing. And I mean, there are some elements still in it that don't make much sense, but rewatching it, I did appreciate it more.
I rewatched it again today. It was. I still liked it as much as I did the first time. There are a few things I thought, like Daniel Mays was brilliant in the film, in the entire episode, except for one point where his reaction to being sucked into a cupboard is questionable, at least.
He's dancing around.
His eyes are wide open. It's almost like he's got a smile on.
It's like, I can't believe I get to.
It's like someone's actually blowing a fan into his face that he's responding to, like it going into his eyes as well. He's like, ah.
I can't help but laugh. It's comical. Yeah.
I know.
Whereas
Matt Smith was obviously sensational. I like the scene where he's talking to him and saying you have to go, and he's just like being sort of stubborn. So, nope.
The thing I didn't like about that scene was, who listens to someone going, I'm from the future, space, whatever, and then they go, oh, you should stay.
I'm like, sure you are. Yeah, you're from beyond the stars, are you? Been travelling through time and space. Get out of my house.
Get out of my house. I don't know what that was.
Get out of my pub.
Get out of my pub. Oi!
And just for the translation, a pub is actually a bar in America.
Oh, is it?
Thanks, Chris.
No
Thanks.
problem. And the word pub comes from the name public house, which is why we call it a pub. But strangely, in
something I
every
learned.
pub, you always call it a bar when you're in there.
You go up to
When
the
you're
bar.
inside.
You go up to the bar
Which is where
inside
you'll
the
serve,
pub,
but
which
the
is
pub
short for
is-
public house. There we go. That's a lesson for everyone.
All right.
It's not much of a public
I'm
house.
gonna make
unless
sure.
You can get kicked
Yeah,
out.
okay, you know those sort of stupid translation videos? Like there are some very cringe-worthy ones, like especially in America. They go, he goes, in England they say chips, we say fries.
Hi.
Actually, that was a brilliant story. Once I went to Florida with a family years ago,
Okay.
and my dad didn't really understand the fact that they have another word for chips. Our chips are their fries.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Your fries,
And,
not theirs.
your fries,
We've got
yeah.
an American
Fries.
in our-
Yeah, sorry. And my dad actually asked for, could we have burger and chips? And the woman at the counter of the cafe looked at him and said, "You want chips with your burger?" and my dad was like thinking she was strange. And he went, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want chips with my burger, thank you. So we ended up having, this is our first night in Florida, our meal was a burger with a packet of ready salted.
Yep. Yep. There is that
It's
translation.
Potato
needed.
chips. So yeah.
Potato chips.
Potato.
Potato.
Potato. What's that called?
John, stop making fun of me.
John, your accent is cringeworthy.
No, I'm not doing an American accent, but I just remembered there's a film or something where a character goes, potato. I'm trying. Maybe it's SpongeBob, I don't know. But
That is not a good judge
potato.
of America. Don't judge America off of SpongeBob.
I won't. I'll judge you off The Simpsons.
That's terrible. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious.
Oh dear. Back to Doctor Who then.
Back to Doctor Who then.
Doctor Who.
Stop it!
What? What am I doing?
As the advert trailer says, Doctor Who.
Doctor
Doctor.
Who. Only on BBC
Doctor Who.
America. 8
It
cents.
That was good.
Actually, it doesn't sound very strong American, that voiceover. I've never thought it did.
Like yours? Or just any American?
Just generally, like if anyone was to do an American impression, they'd exaggerate it.
Yeah.
And, add the whole thing like John's doing.
Oh, hello
Um,
there.
Whereas
Hi.
I just go for a nice sort of subtle tone rather than, just...
The full thing that I do.
rather than going the full thing like we're from the South.
Oh, yeah!
Where's my banjo?
Yeah, there really isn't a huge
Praise the Lord. Praise Jesus.
Praise the Lord.
If you don't take all of the crazy accents from either side of the pond, there's like really not a huge difference. It's just a lot of enunciation.
Yeah, I agree. It's the pronunciation.
Tomato.
Exactly. That's all it is.
Jelly,
Table
jello.
and table. No, that's not it.
That's not how it goes.
Chips, crisps.
We say bottle, they say bottle.
Bottle.
This is true.
Anyway, enough about the
Dustbin,
America-Britain
Garbage
divide.
can.
Divide, I mean special relationship. I don't want to be shot by some government official. Let's face it, they're going to be coming from the CIA.
Yeah. And they've just
Now,
taken
the,
down
the British
Flatwood.
police, the British authorities are useless.
I only have a truncheon, and I'm not allowed to use it.
Both okay.
Okay.
Because the episode was obviously about him being a child, very scared of a lot of things, like some children can be.
Yes.
Were there any moments in your childhood that you were scared of anything?
Oh, yes.
In your childhood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Give an example
Um,
of...
Well, I once saw an episode of Jonathan Creek, and there's a spaceship. Not a spaceship. Why did I say spaceship? There's a there's an episode of Jonathan's Creek which involves a spaceship. No, there's an episode where there's like an old woman who's terrified of this story she's read, and there's a cyclops, and it walks up the stairs and stabs the bed and then suddenly pulls back the covers, and there's nothing under the covers, so it starts to move around the room, and suddenly stops, turns around and stabs the wardrobe, and then it walks away, and the knife is sticking in the wardrobe, and then blood starts to pour through. Terrified for years. After that, I just was so that's my experience of being scared absolutely chivalrously.
I was terrified by open curtain windows at night. When I was young, I couldn't sleep with any gap showing in the window because I had this weird paranoid sense that something was looking in at me from the outside of the window, and I couldn't sleep at all thinking about it. I'm slightly unnerved by it as well. I'm downstairs at about 3 or 4 in the morning. I've just made myself a glass of water before going back to bed, and I just look out the window, and I'm already sort of quite chilled. I'm very unnerved by just looking at something. It could be like anything out there that I probably couldn't see from this side of the window, and it's still kind of freaky. But at the time, I just couldn't do it. I had to keep closing the curtains and make sure they're properly closed, no gaps. I really was quite paranoid.
I was just generally scared as a child. Like, everything scared me. I might have had pantophobia, but I don't know. It was just like any kind of animal. Like, I didn't like animals. And I didn't like movies. Like, I know this is slightly ironic now that I want to make them, but like anything that wasn't a cartoon, I was deathly afraid of.
Oh, right.
Huh.
Yeah.
That is
it's
odd.
just slightly ironic now. But it was like anything. I think the biggest thing was like if there was any music that was like dramatic and swelled and the emotion was going, I was like, ah!
Talking about cinema and that, the thing that used to terrify me the most about the cinema was at the start of the film, they'd used to, wherever you were, which cinema it was, like they'd put a massive like animated thing saying, "This is the cinema you're in," and one of the cinemas in the UK had a train, and it used to go and then say the name Odeon or something, and that used to scare the hell out of me because of the loud noises, and it was just like, ah! Of course,
good God,
I'm a massive fan of steam trains, and of course going to the cinema now is one of my favourite things, so there you go.
I went to it was Christmas, approaching Christmas. I think it was the day before Christmas Eve, so 23rd of December some year ago, and my mate wanted to go see a film called Black Christmas. It was actually a very sickening, twisted horror film about a guy going around killing people on these bunch of conveniently young girls in their campus dorm, being slaughtered by some psychopath with a liver problem.
Right.
I was sickened. I couldn't actually sleep that night. I had to go home and watch Alan Partridge or something very quickly.